Welcome to the 5th Hunger Games and first quell. For those of you wondering what the heck a quell is, I'll explain it to you. A quell is essentially when we add a special twist to the games to make things a little bit more interesting so the games don't get boring really fast. So for a regular Hunger Games, there's a total of 24 people and whoever's the last one standing wins. Well, for this quell, we're going to add double the amount of people into the map. So there's going to be 48 people instead of 24. That makes these games at least twice as hard to win. And not only that, but since it's a quell, we made the map very special to accommodate the twist the best it possibly can. Well, without further ado, let's get into the first quell. As the tributes entered the arena, they were met with a beautiful landscape. Since there were twice as many people as usual, there were also twice as many chests as usual. The arena consisted of a forest with bright green leaves, colorful fruits, a crystal clear river, and a giant snowy mountain. However, we'll find out later that not everything is as nice as it seems. With that being said, let me change the music real quick because I suck at transitioning and the games are about to start.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With the games officially starting, everyone darted straight to the middle, grabbing as many weapons and supplies as they possibly could. The thing is, as people started leaving the cornucopia clearing, they started noticing something extremely deadly about this map. Everything, from the food to the river, even the flowers, were extremely poisonous. They will have to dodge not only each other, but parts of the map to be able to win these games. The game started off with 3 deaths already. I always give a 2-minute grace period so players have a chance to spread out throughout the map before deaths start happening. Yet, somehow, 3 players managed to die before grace even ended. Although it's very unusual, it makes a lot of sense for this map. Morty was actually the first one to die, cause of death being poisoned. Ivan died shortly after to fall damage. And I don't even know how the 3rd death happened. The dude went to like the bathrooms or something. Either that or whoever walked by him ate him. Even after Grace ended, someone still died to fall damage. But the thing is, now that Grace time is finally over, we'll finally be able to see some kills. The bloodbath will finally begin. With an additional 5 off-screen deaths, the bloodbath ended with a total of 22 out of 48 dead. That's almost an entire Hunger Games worth of people. That also left a total of 26 out of 48 alive. 5 of the remaining people formed a huge alliance in the middle, including Ices, Duo, Pandai, Venom, and 6 dogs. To make things a little bit easier to understand, we'll refer to this team as the Careers. This team was made up of people who trained for these games, and they all come from District 1, 2, and 4. Needless to say, people always try to avoid them because they're extremely deadly. Another team can be found all the way at the top of the mountain. Of course, this one is a lot smaller. It includes Bowie and Bob. We're going to refer to them as the Bs because both of their names starts with the letter B. They're both originated from District 3. Another team to notice is Abo and Hif from District 7, who are both hiding on top of the tree. And finally, the last current alliance, XZ and Tyler, both from 9. There's an additional 15 players on top of those teams. However, I'm going to go only over the most notable ones. We have Sticky Situation from District 11, Stingao from District 3, Swagman, who surprisingly decided not to team with the careers, and finally HO from District 8. He's actually being mentored by the most recent District 8 winner, Dexton, winner of the 4th Hunger Games. Mentoring is when someone who previously won gives advice and sponsors someone of the same district as them. What I find really interesting is that we really can see the advice that Dexton gave this tribute. Dexton won his games by hiding most of the games, which is really common within District 8 people, as we saw that strategy as well with The Demon, winner of the 3rd Hunger Games, who's also from District 8. It seems as if a lot of people are hiding during these games, so when the careers spotted anyone, they always ran outside of the cornucopia trying to get a new kill. Meanwhile, while stalking the careers, Swagman had an encounter with another tribute. After hearing the cannon shot, Pandai decided to go investigate by himself, looking for whoever killed that tribute. Instead, he found someone else. As Pandai returned to the cornucopia, he saw that his fellow career tributes were heading to the mountain to get a better view of the map, in hopes that they would be able to see where players were hiding. Bui and Bob, however, were already at the top of the mountain, and saw the careers heading towards them, so in an attempt of avoiding any confrontation, they left the mountain. However, as he was climbing down, Bob got attacked by one of the birds, which left him injured for the rest of the game. Right as the careers were approaching the mountain, Swagman tried to leave so that he wouldn't have to meet the careers. However, he ended up having an encounter with them, and they were not too pleased that he rejected their alliance. With the careers taking over the mountain, there was little to no hope for everyone, as that was one of the only places safe from the poison. Meanwhile, as Pandai was looking for players to kill, he had an encounter with Tyler, who was hiding in the outskirts of the arena. That began a standoff between XZ and Pandai. However, Pandai decided it wasn't worth it and left XZ alone. With the end of day 1 and 27 people dead, the game makers decided to add a new challenge into the game, starting a disaster that would catch everyone off guard. As the second day started, the game makers wasted no time to activate the disaster. On top of the deaths shown on screen, an additional 9 players died to the volcano. That decreased the number of players alive to 9 remaining, making it one of the deadliest disasters in the history of Hunger Games so far. Miraculously, Doc survived the volcanic eruption, but he was still very injured, begging the game makers to have mercy on him. However, other players were really happy with this, as it eliminated half of the careers, increasing their chances of winning, with Bui even laughing at the whole situation. Unaware that his teammates had just died, Pandai used this opportunity to get rid of another player, since most people were so distracted with the volcano. Luckily for the Bees Alliance, Pandai did not notice them, and they were able to escape the situation unharmed. His death marked the 39th death of the game, leaving only 9 players remaining. The players remaining are Dogs, Pandai, Bob and Bui, Abo and Hif, XZ and Stingao, and finally HO. As it turns out, Sticky Situation was actually Bui's secret ally, and he was really upset when he died. With that, they started coming up with a plan on how to get revenge on Panda. Panda had already made his way to the cornucopia, so they decided to get closer to be able to observe him better. What they didn't know, however, is that right behind them, there was already someone with a plan in action. An escape plan, to be more precise. Waiting patiently to regain his health, Six Dogs finally was able to escape his position and went back to Pandai's side. Realizing that Six Dogs had come back, they decided to retreat as they didn't think it was worth it to risk their lives going against both of them. However, they accidentally ended up going to the same tree as HO, and this was really funny because they did not notice him at all. How did they not see him? After a while of them not seeing him, they finally spot him. He tried to ally with them, but they have other plans. Single-handedly, he managed to defend his tree. Bui, however, suffered tremendously for this. He was knocked out of the tree right into Pandai's hands. After Bui's death, everyone realized that the careers were the biggest threat, and that everyone should work together to kill them. However, although that was decided, everyone stayed at the same place, and the rest of the day was uneventful. Since the games were going too slowly, we ordered everyone to move at least once in order to try to generate fights and contact. However, that backfired, as instead of getting closer to each other, everyone spread out even more. So as the day ended, we were forced to take drastic measures to ensure fights happened. On the morning of the third day, the game makers ordered everyone to touch the cornucopia clearing at least once, or else they would explode a tracking device that was located inside their heads. After the announcement was made, everyone rushed to the cornucopia clearing in an attempt to be the first one to fulfill the requirement made by the game makers. After what we're gonna call the Second Bloodbath, the only players that were able to survive were Hif and Stingal. Even though the careers were clearly outnumbered, the tributes did not work together, which is why they all got picked off one by one and eventually died. However, there are still 4 players remaining, 2 careers and 2 regular tributes. If Hif and Stingal work together, this really becomes anyone's game. Due to lack of food, Pandai became eager for the games to end. He went by himself looking for the remaining tributes. He managed to find Stingal, however, he was so weak from the previous encounter, he couldn't even fight back. Dogs soon caught up to him, and together they went to hunt for the final tribute. And with that kill, Pandai secured the win to the careers. However, let me remind you that there's only one winner. They decided to walk around a little bit as a final goodbye to the arena, and then they found the perfect place to fight. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the winner of the 5th Hunger Games and first quell, Bandai of District 4. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please let me know in the comments because this took a really long time to make and I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do it again. If you guys are interested in playing, please join the Discord in the description. Again, thank you so much for watching and later.